Well, thank you so much. That intro was amazing. And happy Saturday to all of my fellow humans here on planet Earth. My name is Megan McGrave, and I am broadcasting to you from my home office here in lovely Boulder, Colorado. I'm really excited to be able to talk to this community at Data Science Go, mostly because I just love that there is an entire conference dedicated to the career advancement for both science practitioners and also beginners. It wasn't too long ago that I was transitioning formally into the data science community myself. But to be fair, I've been peeking through the windows for a little while. So I have an interesting job in the data science community, and one that I didn't even know existed until I joined DataRobot. One thing that you'll come to learn about me through this talk is that I really love research. I love finding out how things work, putting them together, taking them apart, making them more efficient, and if possible at all, making them more fun. So at DataRobot, I work in the customer intelligence team. I work with special emphasis on representing the voice of the data scientist. So what we do is we collect data, we synthesize it, and many times we use AI. We create recommendations on systems, on processes, and projects, and all of these things are all in the focus of enabling a better customer experience for folks like you guys. And you might be asking, who are we? Well, before I decided to do this talk, I asked for some data on who the audience here was because I won't be able to see you guys or be in person with you. And what I found was that you guys are beginners, you are people in transition, you are citizen data scientists, you are code first data scientists, developers, leaders, executives, and yes, even a few directors. So you are the people that I develop product for and that I help through my research and development efforts at DataRobot. So this can include everything from product recommendations to marketing initiatives to more that I haven't even discovered because I started at DataRobot only a few months ago. But as an example of something that I've worked on, I can speak a little bit about a hackathon project that I just finished on Thursday of this last week, and is actually why my voice sounds like it does. So I apologize in advance. We were up 48 hours. We were presenting to each other. We were waiting for code to come in from the other side of the world and designs, and anybody who's been a part of a hackathon project knows what I'm speaking to. And as a matter of fact, I can't see the comments, but I will get all the feedback. If you have presented or if you've been a part of a hackathon, I'm really interested to know, what was your hackathon project? What was your experience? And do you feel like it really helped you in your career? Because I felt like it was immensely valuable for me, but this was the first time that I did it. I do want to make a caveat before I start talking about this. Hackathons are not a part of my normal workflow at DataRobot. And if you've ever participated in one, you know why. It's completely impossible for that to be something that you do on a regular basis. But it does allow for moonshot projects sometimes to get surprisingly far. So here's what I was working on, just as kind of an aside, and then I'll jump into the main part of the presentation. So our name was Team AI. Our project was to make DataRobot more accessible to teams because AI is a team sport. As much as we would like to think that data scientists are the only player in data and AI, that is just not the case. You need people to have buy-in, you need business leadership, you need strategic leadership, and you need a well-rounded team to really fully execute on it and to make it the fabric of any successful company. So what we did was we studied, we brought in, oh, okay, I am learning that my first slide, oh, that's right, that is where we are. I will move to the next slide in just a second here. Let me go back to where we were, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, hackathon project. So So what we did was we brought in a bunch of data sources, personas, jobs to be done, qualitative and quantitative sources, and then we redesigned with the teams in mind. So we got the UI design at like 3:15 in the morning. Oh my gosh, I was so tired. And we had the full presentation ready and the project turned in at 6 a.m. So all of this just to say, for those of you that are working on leveling up your skill sets or attracting employers, I highly recommend hackathons as a way to learn and learn a ton, meet a bunch of wicked smart people, and boost your resume. Okay, now that was just kind of an aside. All right, who am I? Who was I before I did all of these things? Well, I was born in mid-America in a small town outside of St. Louis, Missouri. After losing my mom to cancer at a very young age, I helped raise my 4 little brothers, and I graduated high school early. As soon as I graduated high school, packed up my car and I left everything and everyone I've ever known, and I moved to Colorado. And I became the first person in my family to go to college. One of the reasons why I'm so excited to be here today with you is that this feels like kind of a bookend moment for me, where I get to synthesize years of experience into a set of cohesive learnings about the transformative value of data sciences moving forward. So I woke up this morning with a little bit of a Demi Moore voice, but more stoked to be working in tech than at any other point in my career. And I genuinely believe that in this session today, we're going to play an outsized role in solving big problems and leading through innovation by leveraging data science. Every single one of us is going to play an outsized role in solving big problems. And it's my hope that this session will validate not only your own experience or open up new insights, but deliver the hard-earned value of the insights that I have. So it's funny. It's funny how easy it is to tie things together looking backwards, but looking forward, it's not so easy. I mean, unless you're an actuary, I mean, those guys have been leveraging data to predict life events with unseeming accuracy for decades. And I started my career leveraging medical research, the gold standard, like double-blinded, placebo-controlled, multi-centered, the drill, those kind of studies at Johnson & Johnson, where excuse me, routinely outperformed my peers by using relevant data and predicting where and when I could deliver value to doctors and patients. It wasn't until after I left Johnson & Johnson and I cashed in my retirements and I downsized everything in my life and I founded a company called Carmies that I learned the true value of data. So today I want to share that story and how emojis changed the way that I thought about everything, leading me to data science. Now at Carmies, we were obsessed with extracting the value and the utility of emoji-based communication. I don't expect you to understand what that means, so let me level set. Our use of emoji as a communications tool skyrocketed from 2007 till today. And Carmies sought to deliver a richer, more relevant experience to users by delivering smart emojis, capable of delivering to users contextual value, such as location information behind, say, a coffee emoji, or delivering cryptocurrency through a Bitcoin emoji. The company delivered its technology through a custom API keyboard in iOS and Android and a series of SDKs that saw rapid user growth worldwide. Now, this growth led to opportunity that any founder dreams of. We were funded by Techstars and Sprint, and I was working with senior technical talent at both Facebook and at Google. And like most startups, riding this golden curve of growth, we eventually ran out of road and came to a sudden demise, which to me felt something like being strapped to a dumpster while traveling at 100 miles per hour with it on fire, coming to a stop somewhere atop the relative midpoint of over the Grand Canyon. It was not enjoyable. Actually, let me take it back. It was a hell of a ride. It was fun until it wasn't. And it led me to a place where most entrepreneurs land at some, if not multiple points in their career. So, by way of a retrospective, I want to share with you my insights on where the data science market is today. Because what happened is, like many of you, I learned, albeit the hard way, that data generated is only as good as the value it's extracted. And it is that lesson which led me to completely reassess my career, formalize my data science skill sets, and then go on to a professional journey that led me to DataRobot and took me through the data-intensive use cases at Nielsen, Mindful, and Galvanize. Here are the three things that I want to share with you. 1, raw data has no meaning or comparative value. 2, AI extracts and democratizes the value of data. And 3, without data science strategies, data-intensive applications will fail. Knowing all of this, here's the good news. The inflection point for democratization of data science has arrived. So after picking myself up from the wreck of Carmies, I took those learnings and I spent the past 3 years of my life learning data science from theory to practice and observing firsthand how organizations, large and small, are approaching data and the value hidden within it. The fact is that the best performing applications today are the ones which effectively provide users with personalized experiences powered by machine learning. Today, it is general consensus outside this room that few startups can actually meet the ongoing complexities from growing volumes of data, while at the same time developing data science practices and infusing machine learning in scalable fashion, as an after-the-fact exercise. Now, by that standard, only large companies with immense balance sheets capable of staffing whole data science departments can avoid the fate of Carmies. And that's not only a sad thought for the future, but it's also wrong. And that is because data science is in the midst of a rapid transition from theory to practice to platform. And in this democratization trend, everyone in the field, from non-technical founders to PhDs to citizen data scientists, are accessing toolkits that enable anyone to do what I couldn't do only 5 years ago. They are teaching their applications to learn, exploit, and monetize the value of their data-heavy applications to drive definitive business outcomes, and with commercial utility in just a fraction of the time. Today, there are new data science platforms entering and scaling in the market rapidly, with companies like DataRobot returning multi-billion-dollar valuations. And it is that without even considering the end market offerings from folks like Google, Amazon, IBM, and SAP. Meanwhile, the fact is that data scientists have gone from a specialized niche role within technical teams to critical leadership in the planning and architecting of any data-driven application. With the number of listed openings growing by 30% year over year, data scientists now work within every major industry where growth is happening. Not only does IBM continue to predict an insatiable demand for data scientists, but the Bureau of Labor Statistics considers data science in the top 20 fastest growing occupations and has projected unstoppable growth over the next 10 years. This should come as no surprise to anybody here, that it is these data scientists who are also transforming software development. Now, a recent survey found that more than 70% of teams in tech have at least partially adopted ML. It goes on to surmise something that most of us have been experiencing firsthand, and that is that the best ways to maintain and develop software with ML components is different than from traditional software engineering. This new approach places data considerations such as governance at the outset, then informs and integrates data science practices within the CI/CD development cycles. CI/CD is continuous integration and continuous delivery, for those who don't know. This looks very, very, very different than how teams were organizing when we took the foundational steps towards developing Carmies. So here's a retrospective, notes to myself 5 years ago. Data is the integral output of your application. Data is therefore a critical asset class, and data value is derived from data scientists. Data value is scaled by AI and ML platforms, and data strategy is an integral part of product and business strategy. And they highly encourage any startups or anybody thinking about building their own company to start with that in mind. And anybody out there who's currently working for a company, if this isn't already an integral part of product and business strategy, consider making it. For those of you building AI ML into your business, I highly encourage visiting the software engineering for machine learning link that I posted here. It is authored by the Leiden Institute of Advanced Computer Science in the Netherlands, and it has excellent resources. They collect, validate, and share engineering best practices for software, including ML components. They also study the scientific and popular literature and engage with machine learning practitioners like yourselves. I have no affiliation to them. I just found their content to be excellent in my research. Now, for those of you who are interested in automating your processes or learning more about what AutoML is, I've also included the link to DataRobot. There's a free trial there. Also, feel free to ping me on your trial experience, good, bad, and different. I love the feedback, and I promise to put it to good use. Also, feel free to ping me on anything that I spoke about in this talk. I honestly think this is about all my voice can take for the rest of the weekend. So I want to give a big thanks to Data Science Go for putting this amazing event together. I hope you all enjoyed the last couple of days, and please feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn and share your stories. I loved earlier when Karen said, no shame in saying that I don't know something, and I absolutely have no shame in saying that there's a lot of things I don't know, and there's a lot of stories that I could learn from. So I really, really enjoy hearing all of them. I'd love to help each and every one of you on your journeys, whether that's finding new work or advancing your career. So please reach out to me for that. I'm off to be at camp and hike with my family and be very, very quiet next to a beautiful glacier stream around Rainbow Lakes. So to everyone out there, have a great weekend. Thank you.
Karen, thank you so much. And thank you for tolerating the voice and giving us a presentation. We'll go ahead and spare the questions for now because I know your throat is probably killing. So we're going to go ahead and move on. Thank you guys very much. Do us a favor, though. Everybody knows what to do by now. Take a screenshot, tag me, tag Megan, hashtag DSGO virtual, hashtag data science. You guys already know the drill. Megan, thank you.